When you live in a tiny apartment, the kitchen almost always feels like the trickiest part to get right. It's the heart of the home, where meals are prepared, coffee is brewed, and conversations often begin. Yet, it's also the space most vulnerable to clutter. Counters quickly fill with appliances, cabinets overflow with mismatched containers, and every inch of space feels like it has to work twice as hard. But here's the good news. With the right approach, storage doesn't just have to be practical. It can actually double as decor. In fact, some of the smartest kitchens in small apartments aren't just about hiding things away. They're about showcasing items with style, turning daily essentials into part of the design, and making storage feel intentional instead of accidental. Today, we'll walk through 9 genius makeover hacks that transform ordinary kitchens into spaces that are both beautiful and incredibly efficient. From open shelving that feels like a styled cafe, to magnetic strips that turn utensils into wall art, to the ultimate secret weapon, the appliance garage, you'll see how every idea blends form with function. So let's dive in. These hacks don't just save space, they maximize it. Open shelving has become one of the most beloved design trends in recent years, and for good reason. Especially in small apartments, it's a game changer. Unlike closed cabinets that can make a space feel boxed in, open shelves expand the kitchen visually, creating a sense of airiness and accessibility. But the real magic lies in how you style them. Instead of stuffing items behind a closed door, open shelving invites you to curate. Think of your grains, pasta, flour, or coffee beans not just as groceries, but as part of the aesthetic. Clear glass jars with hand-lettered labels transform these everyday essentials into a design feature. Pasta spirals look sculptural when displayed in tall cylinders. A row of neatly labeled jars instantly reads as organized and intentional, rather than chaotic. To avoid the feeling of clutter, balance is key. Woven baskets are your secret ally here. They hide away the less photogenic items, perhaps snack packs, packets of seasoning, or that half-empty bag of chips, while still keeping everything within easy reach. Ceramic canisters can do the same, blending storage with style in a way that feels timeless. The trick is to stick to a consistent palette. If you're using glass jars, consider pairing them with natural wood lids or black and white minimalist labels. If baskets are your go-to, make sure they match in material and color tone. This cohesion is what turns open shelving from random assortment into a curated vignette. From a functional perspective, open shelving encourages a rotation of ingredients. Because everything is visible, you're less likely to forget about items languishing in the back of a dark cabinet. This reduces waste and encourages a more mindful approach to cooking. And here's a small space bonus. Open shelves often take up less depth than traditional cabinets, freeing up precious inches and making your kitchen feel larger. So, when styled well, open shelving does more than store. It decorates, organizes, and opens up your entire kitchen. Knife blocks are bulky, hard to clean, and take up valuable counter space. In a tiny apartment kitchen, every square inch of that counter matters. Enter the magnetic knife strip, an elegant, minimalist solution that blends utility with design. Mounted directly on the wall, a stainless steel or wooden strip holds your knives securely in place. The result is part art installation, part storage hack. A row of gleaming chef's knives can look sleek and professional, while wooden handle blades bring warmth and rustic charm. But don't stop at knives. These strips can also hold kitchen shears, small metal spoons, bottle openers, or even mini spice tins with magnetic backs. Suddenly, your most used tools are off the counter, but right at hand, perfectly displayed. Design-wise, the strip becomes a horizontal focal point. A stainless version looks modern and clean, ideal for industrial or minimalist kitchens. A wooden strip feels warm, organic, and pairs beautifully with farmhouse or Scandinavian aesthetics. From a practical perspective, magnetic strips are also safer and more hygienic than a traditional block. Knife slots can harbor bacteria and are notoriously hard to sanitize. With a wall-mounted strip, your blades stay dry and visible, making maintenance easier. Best of all, the magnetic strip frees up counter space for food prep. In a kitchen that already feels tight, this can make a world of difference. It's a small detail, but one that signals intention and design smarts. What once was a jumble of tools now becomes part of your kitchen's personality. In small kitchens, flexibility is gold. Enter the rolling cart, the unsung hero of tiny apartment living. This slim, mobile piece can slide into a corner when not in use, then roll out to become whatever you need at the moment. Extra prep station, bar cart, or even a mini dining setup. Style options are endless. A rustic wooden cart with metal wheels feels cozy and farmhouse-inspired. A sleek chrome version leans modern. Even a painted vintage cart can inject charm and personality into the space. Functionally, a rolling cart is a multitasking dream. Store jars and baskets on the lower shelves, use the top surface as extra counter space, or transform it into a stylish coffee bar with mugs and a French press. Hosting friends? Roll it into the living room as a mobile drink station. The beauty of the rolling cart is its adaptability. Unlike fixed cabinetry, it evolves with your needs. It's not just storage, it's lifestyle support, shifting from weekday cooking to weekend entertaining without missing a beat. In terms of small space strategy, rolling carts also allow you to utilize awkward corners or narrow spaces that traditional furniture can't fit into. They maximize the in-between spaces that often go wasted. Styled thoughtfully, with plants, jars, or neatly stacked cookbooks, it's not just practical, it's decor. A rolling cart proves that storage on wheels can be chic. One of the most underrated secrets of kitchen design is learning how to use your vertical space. In a tiny apartment, you can't always expand outward, but you can always expand upward. A hanging pot rack or rail system is the perfect example of this principle in action. Mounted on a wall or under a cabinet, a slim rail instantly transforms into a design statement. Choose matte black rods for an industrial edge or polished copper for warmth and a touch of old-world charm. From there, simple hooks can hold pans, mugs, utensils, or even small baskets. Suddenly, your kitchen tools aren't just stored, they're displayed. But it's not just about looks. Think about how often you reach for a frying pan or a ladle. Instead of digging through a cabinet, these essentials are at arm's length. The efficiency is addictive. Cook, clean, repeat, without wasting a second. One clever twist: add a hanging basket filled with fresh herbs. Not only does this bring greenery and life into your kitchen, but it also provides flavor literally within reach. Basil, rosemary, or mint become part of the decor while serving a practical purpose. Design-wise, a rail system introduces rhythm and structure to a wall. Instead of a blank, empty stretch, you now have an organized, styled feature that feels intentional. It's almost like hanging artwork, but artwork you use every day. In small U.S. apartments where kitchens often open directly into living spaces, this hack also helps create a subtle visual transition. Guests see a curated wall of gleaming copper pans or a tidy row of mugs, not a cluttered mess. It's affordable, adaptable, and endlessly stylish. A rail system proves that in a tiny kitchen, the walls themselves can become part of the storage solution. If there's one hack that embodies both creativity and practicality, it's the pegboard. Originally a humble tool for garages and workshops, the pegboard has migrated into kitchens as a storage superstar. And when styled thoughtfully, it doubles as modern wall art. Imagine a wall covered in evenly spaced holes, ready to hold hooks, baskets, or mini shelves. You can hang pots, stack utensils, or even add a narrow shelf for spices. The beauty lies in its flexibility. You can rearrange whenever your needs change. Hosting friends and need more mugs on display? Adjust. Bought a new skillet that deserves a spot of honor? Easy. In terms of design, a pegboard can blend or stand out. Paint it the same color as the wall for a seamless, subtle effect, or choose a bold shade for contrast. White pegboard in a Scandinavian-style apartment feels airy and calm, while a black pegboard with brass hooks creates a striking, urban vibe. For renters in U.S. apartments, pegboards are especially appealing because they can often be installed with minimal damage and then customized endlessly. They're also budget-friendly, making them one of the smartest investments for small kitchens. But beyond function and aesthetics, there's something empowering about a pegboard. It's the ultimate statement of control. You design the layout. You set the rules. In a small apartment where space feels predetermined, this hack puts the power back in your hands. Countertops are prime real estate in a tiny apartment kitchen, but too often, they become flat dumping grounds. Enter the tiered stand, an elevated solution that brings vertical order to horizontal chaos. Think of a wooden riser that lifts your oils, a bamboo two-tier tray for spices, or a marble cake stand repurposed to hold mugs. Suddenly, the counter isn't cluttered, it's styled. And because items are stacked vertically, you double or even triple the usable space. From a design perspective, tiered stands function like miniature open shelving. They create levels, rhythm, and interest. Instead of a line of bottles scattered across the counter, you have a tidy composition that looks intentional. Add a small plant or a decorative bowl, and your everyday essentials transform into a vignette. The best part? Portability. Unlike built-in shelves, these risers can move wherever you need them. Shift one to the dining table for serving, or place it on a rolling cart when entertaining. In U.S. apartments with open concept layouts, tiered stands also serve as subtle dividers. They anchor a kitchen counter and signal that this area is styled rather than simply stored. It's a reminder that small doesn't have to mean boring. Even the tiniest countertop can feel expansive when you think in layers instead of lines. When floor space is scarce, the walls step in to help. One of the most stylish ways to achieve this is with a ladder shelf or slim leaning rack. These tall, narrow structures provide vertical storage without overwhelming the room. Imagine a slim wooden ladder leaning against a kitchen wall. On one rung, a basket holds linens. On another, a stack of cookbooks. A trailing plant cascades down the side. Suddenly, a once empty corner becomes a styled statement. The ladder shelf works because it adds height and texture. It draws the eye upward, making the room feel taller. And unlike bulky bookcases, its open frame feels light and breathable, perfect for small apartments where every inch matters. Functionally, it's versatile. Use baskets for snacks, hooks for utensils, or shelves for decorative bowls. You can even repurpose it as a hybrid between storage and display, mixing practical items with aesthetic ones. From a design perspective, ladder shelves bring a casual, lived-in vibe. They suggest flexibility, like a piece that could be moved or restyled at any moment. This aligns beautifully with the reality of tiny apartment living, where spaces must adapt quickly. It's not just storage, it's personality. And in the kitchen, that's priceless. Not all storage hacks are visible. Some of the most satisfying transformations happen behind closed drawers. Drawer dividers and clear boxes may sound simple, but they can completely change the way you interact with your kitchen. Think about the average utensil drawer. Without structure, it's a jumble of spatulas, whisks, and measuring spoons. Add bamboo dividers, and suddenly each tool has a place. Open the drawer, and instead of chaos, you see order. It feels luxe, almost like unboxing a designer accessory every time you cook. Clear acrylic boxes work wonders for grouping smaller items. Tea bags, spice packets, or even snack bars. The transparency keeps everything visible, so you never buy duplicates or lose track of what you own. From a design standpoint, these hidden systems create peace of mind. Even if guests never see them, you feel the difference daily. Organized drawers mean smoother routines, less stress, and more joy in cooking. For U.S. apartments, where renters may not want to invest in custom cabinetry, drawer organizers are a quick, renter-friendly upgrade. They slip in and out easily, transforming even the most basic rental drawers into efficient, styled storage. In short, when the inside feels intentional, the outside feels calmer too. Every small apartment kitchen faces the same dilemma: where to put the appliances. Toasters, blenders, coffee machines. They're essential, but they clutter counters and break the aesthetic flow. The solution? The appliance garage. This small cabinet with a sliding or roll-up door tucks appliances out of sight while keeping them accessible. Imagine a seamless cabinet that matches your kitchen decor. Open it, and inside sits your coffee maker, ready for use. Close it, and the counter looks clean, calm, and clutter-free. From a design perspective, the appliance garage is genius. It maintains the visual rhythm of your cabinetry, blending seamlessly into the overall look. No more random machines interrupting your kitchen's aesthetic. Functionally, it's equally smart. Appliances stay plugged in but hidden, meaning you can brew coffee or make toast without hauling machines in and out. It's convenience disguised as design. In U.S. kitchens where space is tight and open layouts are common, appliance garages are especially powerful. They allow the kitchen to look polished even when it's part of the living area. This hack proves that storage can be sleek. By turning clutter into design, the appliance garage becomes the ultimate small space luxury. At the end of this journey through 9 makeover hacks, one thing becomes clear. Small kitchens are not defined by their size, but by their creativity. Each idea we've explored is more than just storage. It's design, lifestyle, and intention working together. Open shelving turns ingredients into art. Magnetic strips transform tools into statements. Rolling carts and pegboards adapt to your ever-changing needs. Tiered stands and ladder shelves add rhythm and verticality. Drawer dividers create hidden luxury. And the appliance garage, that final hack, brings calm sophistication to even the busiest counters. In U.S. apartments, where kitchens often blend into living and dining spaces, these solutions do more than save space. They create harmony, ensuring the kitchen feels like part of a cohesive home rather than a cramped corner. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by clutter, remember, storage doesn't have to be invisible. It can be intentional, stylish, and inspiring. With the right hacks, your kitchen can transform from a challenge into a showcase. Because small spaces don't limit you. They invite you to be clever, thoughtful, and bold. And that's where genius design begins.